My name is Riley Lamphere, and I'm a coastal wetland water quality technician at Old Woman Creek. My job includes processing and collecting water samples from around the estuary that help tell us about the health of the estuary and its functions. So that might include canoeing out to our long-term data sondes to swap them out, where they're measuring data such as the temperature of the water or oxygen levels. It also includes taking water samples and taking them back to the lab to process them for nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, which helps feed bioactivity throughout the estuary. I also get to help out with other monitoring programs such as phenological monitoring, or looking at how plants and animals change throughout the year, and salamander monitoring across the estuary. I really like in this job that I get to do a combination of outdoor work, collecting samples, and field work to help answer questions that give data to people who make decisions about our land and can help us better protect our water and the natural resources that we all depend on. And that's kind of why I chose a career in environmental science in the first place. Like most people in this field, I was really interested in nature as a kid. I grew up hiking and playing outside all the time. And I also always wanted to be a scientist, like since I was a little kid. So the first time I started getting involved in research and put on a lab coat and started like really working in the lab was like fulfilling a childhood dream of mine. I really like that I get to do that in this job by combining my curiosity about the world around me and learning new information about how natural systems work for data that can be applied to improving the lives of everyone who depends on those resources and conserving natural spaces for future generations. I kind of started on this journey when I enrolled at Central Michigan University, where I earned my bachelor's in environmental science with a minor in biology and Spanish. While I was working at Central Michigan University, I joined John Uzarski's Wetland Ecology Lab, which is kind of what helped me realize how cool wetlands are. They serve a lot of ecosystem functions such as flood control, temperature regulation, and filtering the water to make sure that there's not too many pollutants or nutrients that enter the lake later on. And so it really got me looking for jobs to help research wetlands later on, which is how I ended up at Old Woman Creek. If I had one piece of advice to give about entering the environmental field, I'd definitely say that the number one thing is to just get involved. For me, that meant reaching out to a couple different professors and seeing if they needed any help with research. But if you're still in high school, that could just mean talking to your high school teachers. Or at any age, it's always good to look up and see what kind of citizen science programs are available near you, or see if any local nature centers need help or volunteers. Because a lot of times we really rely on volunteer input for monitoring and learning how the world functions around us. Most people I've met in this field really like their job and are more than happy to tell you about what they're passionate about. So don't be afraid to ask questions and just jump right in.